Hi, I'm Eduardo Neret with Campus Reform. Today we're at Otterbein University, the site of the next Democrat debate, and we're here to talk to supporters on both sides of President Trump and of the Democratic Party to see their take on the recent divide between socialism and capitalism. Bernie Sanders over the weekend attacked Elizabeth Warren and said the differences between the two of them was that she is a capitalist in her bones. Where do you lie on that issue between socialism and capitalism?
Well, I think that we need both.
Now we see capitalism being used as a negative attribute in the Democratic Party. What do you think about that?
I hear friends talk about capitalism in a negative way, so it's not really surprising. I'm surprised more that there's a divide at all, that there's any Democrats for capitalism, so I guess that's kind of encouraging.
Bernie Sanders over the weekend attacked Elizabeth Warren and said, well, she's different than me because she's a capitalist in her bones. So it's sort of seen as a negative thing in the Democratic Party if you defend capitalism. What do you guys think about that?
I don't think it's a negative thing. I think it's very important to keep an open mind. You know, no country has embraced socialism has ever been successful.
I'm a party hack Democrat. I confess that if socialism worked and Bernie Sanders has been in the Senate for 30 years, he would have passed some sort of bill.
Eventually their government, the people had a revolution, they rioted, just because there's no government that is so pure that they're not going to take that money and use it for their own greedy interests.
So Bernie Sanders over the weekend attacked Elizabeth Warren for being a capitalist in her bones. So I guess it's his push going forward to kind of make an embrace of capitalism a negative thing in the Democratic Party.
Well, I don't think that it's a fair attack necessarily.
I don't see how that's a blemish against her. Our basic government is we are all capitalists. We are not socialists.
If that's what people really wanted, some bill would have been passed at some point.
I don't embrace socialism. I live in a capitalist society. The United States is based on capitalist ideals, and I think it's brought us to this point in time to being such a great nation.
How do you feel about capitalism being seen as a negative thing among Democrat candidates?
Capitalism has to evolve and adapt.
This country is a capitalist country. Bernie is unrealistic about socialism.
The modern world, like Venezuela, has been a huge failure with socialism, so I think that would probably happen here as well, because like history repeats itself. So, well, everything I've read, like socialism would just like kill the economy and destroy jobs.
A socialistic tendency to the party might be beneficial, but open socialism, I can't really say yes or no to.
So are you concerned that if one of these primary candidates wins the nomination for the party, that they may take the party too far in that socialism direction? Is that a concern for you?
No, because I think they're so far left or right, per se, that they won't get people to work with them, and they'll end up failing with what they're trying to do.
Does that worry you at all, that the party may be going into a full-force Sanders revolution, or are you not worried about that at all?
It does worry me a little because I do think it's important to keep an open mind.
If it were to be a wholesale adoption of socialism, that would be problematic.
Are you concerned about the place socialism may have in Bernie Sanders' Democrat Party?
I think it could be a bit extreme, and I feel like it would not pull the more moderate people towards the left.
I'm uncomfortable with it.
I am so very, very committed to the idea that America should be about more than tax policy. And that's all that Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are offering.
People in this country will not vote for socialists, but we are a capitalist country. Capitalism does terrific good if it's controlled.
I think he should stay to the left and just embrace the democratic socialism. I think those policies are widely popular once people learn about them, and I think that's the way to go. And we need a complete change of the system. So
we need to be cognizant of what capitalism has afforded us, but be aware of some of the perils.
It's like being a capitalist in itself isn't bad. I feel like there should be a mix of like socialism and capitalism.
Yes, it does concern me very much about the Democrats embracing socialism. I think they all ought to do an internship down in Venezuela and see if they like it.
Socialism has never worked anywhere before. Why would it work here?
Personally, I'm just glad that they finally pulled off the mask. I mean, they're basically coming out and saying, this is what we're going to do. And as far as I'm concerned, all you need to do is tape these debates and have them as the advertisements for Trump, and you're going to win a 48 state majority.